for the last 7 days has produced, that is without question, the most significant piece of breaking football news in Premiership history. We all knew that it was going to happen one day, but none of us knew for certain that it was going to be just now. The imminent retirement of Sir Alex Ferguson. Farewell, David Moyes at Everton. Farewell, Sir Alex Ferguson at United. A rainy day today, but that's not going to stop me. Besides, I'm confident the weather will improve by this afternoon. So just on the M53 at the moment, still quite close to home, but we're going to be going on to the M56 in a few minutes and eastwards towards Manchester. Okay? That's the start of our plan at least.
In Swansea, the victim who's not been
very nice.
died in hospital in the early hours
very nice to hear.
Police were called to Sterry
On a bit of a drowsy morning weather-wise. No, of course not. So just leaving the M53, turning left onto the M56. It is exactly midday and it is 45 minutes until the first of the 2 big games today kicks off. Okay? It's still raining, but it's not too bad to be fair. So just gone 12 o'clock, we're going to listen to TalkSport until about 12:30 and then switch to 5 Live as they have got the lunchtime kick-off today between Aston Villa and Chelsea. And as I say, we're going to come home after everything, get back in good time for the FA Cup final that kicks off at 5:15. And I will show you some video shots from it. I'm just going to stay in and watch it and I will record a few video shots for you, okay? Beautiful day, beautiful views. Actually, no, it's not a beautiful day, but it's almost summer. Most of the trees have got their leaves now, and the countryside looks so green and so sweet. And it's going to be like that all the way until September. Yeah. Now that the trees have got their leaves, full months of summer has just begun in my eyes, at least in appearance terms. So we're nearly at the place that we're heading to, Mobley. Yeah, Mobley station to the left, Mobley village to the right, and we're going to the station, so we're about to turn left. Remember 2 weeks ago we went to Knutsford and Tatton Park? Oh crap, I've just missed my turning. Don't worry, I'll turn around in a minute. But we went to Tatton Park and Knutsford 2 weeks ago. I didn't quite get as far as Mobley, which we initially planned, but today we are going to Mobley, okay? 15 minutes until the 1:45 kick-off at Villa Park. Beautiful tree-lined road. Luckily the next left turning did take us to our destination. And I'm guessing that this bridge, is it? No, it's not the railway bridge. Oh yes it is. So it must be pretty near. Whoa. So yes, very narrow road.
As a team, you know,
well, this is Mobley station and I've just parked in the car park and listen to this. There's a plane ahead and we are right under the flight path of Manchester Airport here. And seeing a few planes take off certainly has formed largely the basis of this trip, well, secondary to the football itself. And I'm hoping to see some good aircraft overhead because I do like to see planes take off and trains shoot through every so often. But I'm not a nerd though. I don't do it every week. It's just something I like to do from time to time as a day out, you know.
Is on the front of the match programme today, next to a caption.
Well, here we are. The players are at the tunnel, just going through the pre-match traditions, the pre-match ceremonies, as it were. And it's going to be an emotional day at Villa Park, especially for the home fans. Not only is it their last home game of the season, but it's also a swan song moment for Stilian Petrov. He's had a bad illness in the last year or so, and he's now retired from football. He was their captain and was a very good player for them a couple of years back. And he's going to do a lap of honour today. I think it's before kick-off. So a very emotional day at Villa Park. And it's BBC Radio 5 Live providing today's commentary. So I'm sure the Premier League music would be played around now. And we're going to head off as soon as the game kicks off, okay? But we're nearly ready to go at Villa Park. And if Aston Villa win, they're safe. If Chelsea win, they're just about guaranteed Champions League football for next season. If they draw, then both of them are going to have to do the business on the last day to secure safety most likely. Or in Chelsea's case, get that Champions League spot. This indeed is Mobley Station. And we are currently standing on the Manchester bound platform, if I'm not mistaken. And as you can see, there's a train just coming in now. So timed pretty well, if you ask me. One train an hour in each direction on weekdays, and it's every 2 hours on a Sunday, I think. And there it is. And as this one's just leaving towards Manchester, the one towards Chester in the other direction is just in. 2 birds with 1 stone. What excellent timing. It's not a coincidence really, because both trains are actually scheduled around the same time each hour at 5 to, which is the time now. I did check the timetables before we left this morning. And speaking of 5 to, 10 minutes have gone at Villa Park, it's still 0-0. And the level crossing is just being raised again. And cars and people couldn't wait to get across the road. And there's a train on its way across the Cheshire countryside. And there it goes.
Chelsea, they'll fall in the middle.
The deadlock's been broken after less than 15 minutes. He just can't stop scoring, Benteke. It's bad news for Chelsea, they're losing, but Aston Villa are rocking. They've won 2 games in a row. They've won 5 out of 7 in all competitions, I think. And they're beating Chelsea so far. What a start for the Villains. 1-0 Aston Villa. Game on. And on that cue, on that note, we're going to start our country walk. A wide-body plane now taking off from the airport, off on a long-haul flight somewhere. Now you know how close we are to the airport. Well, we are now off on our walk along country roads near the runways. For the entirety of this match, and possibly some of the time afterwards, we will be directly under Manchester Airport's flight path. So, Aston Villa ahead after just over a quarter of an hour. Just the start that they wanted. And Villa take the first big step to avenging that 8-0 defeat they suffered at Stamford Bridge just before Christmas. Oh, look at him. And all her. Beautiful. Enjoy your day, fella. Enjoy your day. Well, it's been raining all day today, at least until about 12:30, which was just before we got to Mobley. The rain conveniently stopped, but it has started again, and it is going to be raining for a good portion of this afternoon's excursion. Hopefully not all of it though. As for Villa Park, it is raining heavily there. In fact, the rain has just started there as it's just stopped here. But they're about 70-80 miles south of here, so they are going to have different weather, aren't they? We've just had a very emotional moment at Villa Park. In the 19th minute, everyone stood up and gave a standing ovation, as they've done all season, in honour of the now retired Petrov, who wore the number 19 shirt. And a great gesture, and even more fittingly, at least according to the commentators, the sun came out just as the 19th minute struck. there is a ray of light shining on Aston Villa's season after all, and they will be safe mathematically if they can keep a clean sheet. And speaking of rays of light, it's just started to turn sunny here a little bit. Hopefully that's an omen for the rest of my day being good. As we continue to stroll along these country roads, I'm just going to pause a minute, turn my camera slightly to the right. Well, at least they weren't cars. Anyway, just look up there. I couldn't tell what airline it is, but it's a plane. It's a plane. 25 minutes gone. Villa playing with a lot of passion and a lot of heart. Despite which, it's still mostly Chelsea with the chances. Guzan has been called into action at least once. It's all going Aston Villa's way at the moment. At this point, we're turning right down Wood Lane. Nearly half an hour gone. Chelsea are about to take a free kick. In a minute, at least. Aston Villa galloping freely at the moment, where Chelsea were hoping to win this game at a canter, but that's not going to happen. And I can't think of any more Hooves puns on the go. If I did, it would be cringingly bad. By the way, that free kick very nearly turned into an equaliser. I think it might have even hit the post before the keeper saved it. Frank Lampard took it and was close to equalling the scoring record of Bobby Tembling's. He's still one behind now at the moment. Well, there's even a bit of blue sky visible to my left, but visible to my right is somewhat of a different sight. It is Lufthansa, the German national carrier. There you are. I've never flown with them, but I am going to Germany in the autumn. And I will be flying there with them from this airport, actually. But that's next season, though. I'm not going on the trip in any football-related capacity, but I might make a video and feature it in next season's series. Possibly. There's just under 10 minutes until half time, and as the rain picks up again, so do Chelsea, who are creating chances but not putting any away so far. I always like a bit of a joke and a double entendre when making these videos, and I've just heard a good one from the commentator on 5 Live, John someone or other, forgotten your name, sorry. The point is, there's a Villa player called Eric Lehigh, and put it this way, he just went in for a challenge and it was knee high. So knee high from Lehigh, ha ha ha. That wasn't mine, by the way. We're less than 5 minutes away from the break. Close to half time. This has turned out to be a great day for Aston Villa Football Club, and a rotten one for Chelsea, because Ramirez is red carded for a second yellow. 2 bucketball fences, and his day is over. Villa, at the moment, no pun intended, are flying high in the sky, albeit a cloudy, dark sky, not a blue sky, which we prefer, but there you are. Half-time whistle's gone, and things are looking bright for Aston Villa, just as they are for me here, in terms of the weather at least. The rain has stopped, and there's blue sky behind me. Woohoo! Happy days! Look straight ahead. As you can see, we've now made it to the airport perimeter fence. And right on schedule too. Obviously we can't go through those gates, but there's footpaths to the left and the right. So what I'm probably going to do is go down one of them and come back via the other. And there's a plane overhead, but you can't really see too much of the airfield from here. that's about the extent of what can be seen, to be honest. Meanwhile, though, right overhead, there it is. And there it goes. And look at the clouds, they're disappearing fast. A not so windy windsock. I imagine it would have been blowing a lot more an hour or two ago, but not now. Let's just hope the good weather lasts. Here comes another plane. And this is EasyJet. Oh yes. Oh, can't stretch anymore, there it goes. Well, here is me at one of those fences. And the second half will be underway at Villa Park soon. And Aston Villa will be going into it a goal up and a man up. And on home turf too. Anyways, let's go, okay? We're going to start off our footpath walk, and the entire second half is going to be spent walking around the airfield. And for anyone that knows Manchester Airport well, they will know that the runway behind me is the second runway, the newer runway, and it's more to my right, to the left of what you can see where the main runway is. And for a few hours during the afternoon, they usually shut the second runway and only operate from the first runway, and that's the situation now. So I'm going to be trying to stick nearer the first runway as much as possible. But there's an underpassing somewhere where we can go under the second runway and do this in a complete circuit, and that's my intention. So let's go. Should take an hour, a bit over an hour maybe. The rest of this match, in other words. Before I do go though, let's just zoom into this little fella. It's a 757, I think. Ooh. You're not getting away from me. No, you're not. Oh, I win. Oh. Not a bad effort. Let's turn right then and start the walk. And we should, in an hour or so's time, end up back here from that footpath you just saw to the left. The second half is just about to get underway, and Villa came flying out the traps in the first half, and they've been in cruise control ever since, but they can't wing it to the end. They can't let their tails drop. They must keep at it, because Chelsea might just nose back into this match. Okay, I'll stop now. Well, we're going around a bend here, and it's a bend that should point us in the right direction and back towards the airport. And you can also see the Pennines in the distance behind it. Another bend here, and from this spot we should get some decent views of the airfield. In fact, there isn't really... Oh, chance! Chance! Nearly 2-0 Villa. And that's not the only chance they've had. About a minute earlier they could have also made it 2-0. Chelsea hanging on a bit here. So there's the airfield. Surprisingly not a high fence, just a small countryside fence stopping me get to it. It's interesting that. And there it is. The weather's turned a bit sour, but we're gonna continue because we are always in high spirits. It looks like we're coming to a dead end here. Hopefully not though. We will, of course, keep walking, and touch wood, there will be a through path. Yeah, there's about 11-12 minutes of the second half elapsed, and the rain has started to come down again, but we're being sheltered by a few trees at the moment, so it's not too bad. Despite being a fence in front of me, there's also a way through for walkers, so I'm guessing we can still go this way, so that's a relief. There's just been a second sending off here. This could be big news. It's positive news for Chelsea, not for Villa, because Aston Villa are down to 10 men as well now. It's 10 v 10. But more significantly, it's their saviour, their talisman, the man that scored today. The guy that's got 14 goals in 16 games. Ben Teke, a second yellow card for a challenge on John Terry. And he's off. So that should blunten Villa's attack with just over half an hour of regulation time left. Oh, what a moment at Villa Park! It's an equaliser for Chelsea, but it's one that equals Bobby Tembling's all-time record scoring for Chelsea. Frank Lampard, 202. It's 1-1. And Aston Villa pay the price for that sending off, but more significantly, Chelsea on level terms, and their fans celebrated that with real passion. Lampard, equal all-time goal scorer for Chelsea FC. Incredible. 1-1, game on. And he's got 2 and a bit matches this season to break the record. Can he do it? From a neutral's perspective, I hope he can. A beautiful, picturesque lake here. In fact, it's virtually a pond, it's that small. Right by the side of the flight path, as another plane takes off above me. Another gate. But another way through for pedestrians, such as myself. I would guess about I'd say just over 20 minutes left of the second half. And quite an amusing moment just a minute ago. Not if you're a Chelsea fan, but it was funny from the neutrals' perspective. A bit of a calamitous moment in the Chelsea box, and the ball was deflected onto the top of the crossbar. Villa had a corner from it, didn't come to anything, and it stays 1-1. Almost right underneath the planes here. A great location. No point zooming in, it's that close to us. Might be jet2.com, I'm not sure. From here, you can just about see some of the airport buildings. The new control tower, for example, and the old one's still there, and the terminals, and some of the parked aircraft. As for that plane that just took off, I'm sorry I couldn't bend backwards any further, but I'm not as contort as you think. Being extremely flexible is not a forte of mine, I'm afraid. That's what it looks like zoomed in, the airport. So it's all happening at Manchester International. It's all happening here as well. A great Premier League fixture, 1-1 with 20 minutes left, and it's in the boiling pot, as I call it. The cauldron could tip either way, but it might finish 1-1, which means the cauldron stays upright and honours are even. Big moment, I think there's been a goal. I think there's been a goal. I'm just gonna listen a few seconds. No, it's still 1-1. Chelsea from a corner, Cahill put it across the line, at least he thought so. And Silla has made an off the line clearance, and it's still 1-1. So close, Chelsea going 2-1 up. A goal that would guarantee their Champions League participation next season. Here comes one. Immediately banking left, which means it's turning south. So nearly 2-1 Chelsea again, Villa defending for their lives. John Terry might have injured his ankle here. An army of concerned medics have run on the pitch to aid Chelsea's captain. So players likely to be stopped for a couple of minutes. Sounds like another plane might be taking off. Possibly. Perhaps not. So do we go straight ahead or do we turn right? Let's try this way. I'm afraid it looks quite serious, this injury. As it appears, it's going to end this season and possibly keep him out for the start of next year too. He could be looking at months on the sidelines, judging by how much pain's coming from his left ankle. But we don't know exactly what's happening. As I say, we're in a field about 85 miles away from Birmingham. And here's a Virgin Atlantic 747, one of the planes I was looking out for. What a sight! Oh yeah. And there it goes. That's a Virgin Atlantic 747-400 and it's going non-stop to Orlando, Florida. I think it's going to Orlando. It's either there or Las Vegas. One of the two. I've been to both actually, I'm fortunate to say. So that will be airborne until about 11, 12 o'clock tonight when I'm going to bed. Yeah, one of the few big full engine jets that fly out of this airport each day. And you can see it's banking right in a northwesterly direction, ready for its trek across the Atlantic. I mean, play still hasn't resumed after the seriousness of Terry's injury, so we might as well just film it for a bit longer. At least until it disappears above the clouds. There's 30 minutes left, but a number of minutes to be added on, I'm sure. Yeah, now that the dark clouds have cleared, it could be a while before it rises above them. There again, we might be starting to lose it a bit now. Play has resumed now, let's get going. Goodbye Virgin plane. Hopefully we can get past this first fence and then just walk alongside the black one, which is the perimeter fence. There's about 10 minutes left of this game, and we will await news of John Terry's injury later on. He's gone off to hospital somewhere in the meantime. But from what I'm hearing, it's going to be months rather than weeks, I'm afraid. But Chelsea have got so much money, they'll just buy someone half as good in the summer. Yeah, I think what you will find increasingly next season is when John Terry returns to fitness, he will just be there as a so-called big game player and only play some of the matches with probably two other centre-halves, the main first-choice pairing. Well, this is another view of the newer runway and the airfield surrounding it. Sounds like another plane's departing. So I'm going to just skip down here to see which plane it is. Here it is. Oh, what a view that is. Just look at that there, the valley. That is wonderful. Meanwhile though, Jet 2 Holidays it is. Yeah, Chelsea have got another corner coming up, I think. Yeah. So what a great view. Yeah. I've seen this on Google Maps, but one thing that you can't tell from looking at those images on the internet is undulation. I had no idea that it was a valley quite as steep as this. There's just over 5 minutes left of the game as we head down towards the final whistle. And it is steep this, so I'm just going to concentrate on not falling over. Very nearly a winner for Villa there. Well, we can't go left, so we must go to the right. And by the way, Villa nearly won it then. I think Westwood had a shot saved by Petr Cech. And there you are. I knew about it through the maps on Google, but I had no idea, now the plane taking off there, that it looked quite like this. Yeah, there's a stream. First, yeah, plane taking off behind me. I think there's been a goal. Oh my goodness me! Chelsea are going to win today, and Frank Lampard has done it! Frank Lampard is now Chelsea's all-time leading goal scorer. I could barely hear it because it happened just as that plane was taking over me. What a moment for Chelsea FC. And that will wipe out the disappointment of John Terry's likely long-term injury. This is what it looks like though. The River Bollin that forms part of the Cheshire Greater Manchester border near the airport, it's been channeled and straightened underneath the runway in a beautiful and enormous floodlit tunnel with a path on either side. This is wonderful, just as it is for Chelsea FC. British Airways plane there, and there it goes. Can't see much more of it. And there it went. And here it is, the Air Emirates A380 Super Jumbo off to Dubai. What a sight that is. Unbelievable. Honestly, seeing it that close up was surreal. I knew it was due any time soon, so I decided just to wait a bit longer. And now that that enormous plane is taken off, we will now proceed through this enormous tunnel, which was built in the year 2000, as indicated by the MM at the top of it. Beautiful and very picturesque here, as a path runs alongside the river. As I say, it's the first time I've been to this spot, and it doesn't look as good as I thought it would. It looks better than I thought it would. It's not over yet though. It could still be a 2-2. But we've entered stoppage time, 7 minutes of it. There you go. And here's Torres without the mask. Chance! He went round Lehigh, who didn't foul him knee-high this time. It could have been 3-1 Chelsea, but it's not. So we're going to enter this big tunnel, and we're likely to lose reception for most of this. And it's on time because it's going to take me 2 or 3 minutes to walk through it. It's fading already. I'll switch on in a bit. Just listen to that noise. A monster of a plane, just as this is a monster of a tunnel. We're well into those 7 minutes of stoppage time. I can't hear a thing, so I don't know what's going on. Check out the breakwater, all the rapids, and all that fast flowing water in the river down there. Yeah. That's enough of my stupid voices for one day. Now, there can't be more than about 2 minutes left of stoppage time, and there were quite a number of minutes of them too. Reception is slowly starting to come back now. Just give me a moment. Listen to that noise, there's another plane taking off. And as we emerge from the tunnel, I will try and see what plane it is. I'm still listening to the rest of this match. It sounds like Villa are battering Chelsea. They've come close to an equaliser, but Chelsea are still holding on at the moment. Well, we can't really see much from here. It's somewhere up there. But the sun is shining through Chelsea FC. Happy days for them. Right, I'm just going to film some of those beautiful countryside shots behind there for a minute. Despite being so close to an airport, wonderful countryside scenery here. There's a bridge through them trees there, spanning the river, and the rocks are a nice touch. And there's a further footpath to the left too. Bliss. I've just crossed to the other side of the river, and there's another plane in the sky. Can't tell what airline it is from here. That's what it looks like from this side. Just up there. There it goes. Pakistan International Airlines, I think. A long distance flight for that plane. Probably to Pakistan. I think it might be going to New York though, I'm not sure. As we head up the hill towards another of those perimeter fences. Monarch Airlines, there it goes. So I don't know where that plane's off to, but I do know where I'm heading. There's no football really to report to you for the next couple of hours. We're going to try and get home. It's nearly 3 now. We're going to try and walk to the car and then drive home by 5 o'clock in time for the FA Cup final. As we speak though, an emotional lap of honour for the Aston Villa players. The first of the 20 Premier League teams to have their last home game of the season. And although they're not safe yet, Aston Villa, they are going to be in the big time next season. Take my word for it. And they deserve to be, because they play great football. They're a great team with great fans. But Stilian Petrov is leading the walk around the ground, so it's extra emotional for that reason. It is indeed. So I'm going to show you one panoramic shot of the flight of the airfield from this place, and then probably switch off the camera for a bit. But it's been a wonderful afternoon. The weather has improved accordingly, and despite a slight sound out of John Terry's injury, Chelsea get the win they need to guarantee, to all intents and purposes, guarantee Champions League football for next season, and Frank Lampard gets both goals in a comeback 2-1 win to become Chelsea's new all-time leading scorer. And what a view that is down there, looking into the tree-filled valley. Bliss, paradise, it really is. Summer is virtually here. Well, this is what you can see of the airfield and the terminal buildings from here. Quite a lot of red-tailed planes, and a few others too. So it's been a busy afternoon of departures. We've heard quite a lot since we've been here. And this is a Qatar Airways flight off to Doha in the Middle East. And it's the last of a series of long haul departures from the airport in the early afternoon period. And there it goes, flying high in the sky. And just look at that sunshine coming through. Beautiful, wonderful sunshine. In fact, the sun shines so bright I can't even see where it's gone. A wonderful afternoon it's been. But we do have to head home now, and that is what we're going to do. So for the next 2 hours or so, as I make my way back home, first by foot and then by car, I'm going to be listening to TalkSport's build up to the big game. And there have been some classic finals over the years. For example, in 1987, when Coventry beat Tottenham, and in 1988, when the crazy gang of Wimbledon beat Liverpool, the country club as it were. And Everton upset Man United in 1995. And Sunderland won it in the 70s from the second tier. And speaking of second tier teams to win the FA Cup, it's not happened since West Ham United beat Arsenal in 1980. 33 years ago to the day. special day that was in their history. So now I'm going to film the airport buildings for one last time before I really do have to head back to the car. And it hasn't rained for a while, to be honest. It's dry weather. The winds have picked up though. And we're now back here. Where is here, you ask? If I just yank this thing open, and can't even do it. Wait there a sec. There we go. There it is. Let me just shut the gate for a minute. Give me a moment. There we are. Now, we're back here. This is where we were earlier. Remember that fence? We went this way, and now after walking all the way around the airfield, we've come back to this gate. And that's the way back home. But just before going there, another plane to film. And here we are. We're back at Mobley Station. Right, it's 4 o'clock. We've got just over an hour to get home for the FA Cup final. And without going too gung-ho on the roads, we should manage it. However, as you can see, we're not going to be going anywhere for a few minutes yet. Unless I go the other way, which I wasn't planning to. Anyways, let's get in the car.
4-1-4-1 scenario.
Well, the music band are playing their music at Wembley, as you can hear. There's over an hour yet until the game. We've just listened to final build-up and waiting for the level crossing doors to raise themselves. As another plane departs over my head, I believe. So, great afternoon for Chelsea. Lampard now has 203 goals, their all-time leading goal scorer. Oh wow, it's a freight train coming through, by the way. And Chelsea are as good as guaranteed Champions League football for next season. Villa fans shouldn't worry, they're going to stay up. I'm fairly certain of that. But for now, I'm off, okay? It's been a great afternoon, great game, great entertaining Premier League affair we listened to with 3 goals. And it was raining on the way here. A quick shower or two at the beginning of the walk, but most of the day has been dry and it's been a resounding success. The weather has gradually got better as the day's gone on, and it's gone from a bit rainy at the start to cloudy to sunny. Happy days.
Between the back four and the midfield is going to have to be small.
So as soon as that freight train has gone through, we will go through ourselves. And there you are. And as I say, it's been a resounding success today, this trip. And let's hope the FA Cup final is a thriller as well. Because we're off home now to listen to it, we've got an hour to get there. So as the doors are raised, let's go ourselves. Okie dokie.
Hammer for every mistake, but if he makes one today, because he's been picked over Pantelimon,
Beautiful,
get even more hammer on it.
beautiful sunny day now. And the tree-lined motorway makes it look even better.
He set his standards so high when he first
35 minutes until the FA Cup kicks off. We should be back in about 20 though.
It's unusual normally to get back.
The sweetest success in English football. Not there means so much.
A place in history firmly won. So it's time to crown a new FA Cup holder.
Change hand once again.
For the silverware to Jody North. One club knows how it feels.
The joy of Manchester City.
One family dream of what's to come. FA Cup final, equaliser Andy Townsend and Clive Tilsley.
Neither manager can be any more certain as to what next season holds in store for them, and they can know what the next 90 minutes will bring. Either or both may move on. Neither can look beyond the evening ahead. The outcome of the FA Cup final could just determine what happens to Roberto Mancini and Roberto Martinez next. It's the FA's intention to return their main event to a date of its own at the climax of the domestic season. The sooner the better. 758 clubs entered this season's FA Cup. Only 2 remain. Less than 30 miles separate Manchester City and Wigan football clubs. But fans have travelled over 200 miles to fill the National Stadium. The FA Cup final day. What a journey for the Wigan chairman Dave Wheeler. Blackburn Rovers right back in the 1960 final. He is seriously injured that day. He used his £400 compensation to start a grocery business on Blackburn Market, which began a retail empire that was calling back to Wembley as the owner of an FA Cup final club. Sharing the moment incident, his grandson James and 4-year-old Joseph Kendrick, disabled son of a Wigan football writer and focus of Wigan Athletics charity efforts. FA's guest of honour is pretty special. 144 England caps, 128 goals. Dave Clark is the captain and inspiration for the nation's blind football team. Goals less numerous in blind football than the international football that Aguero and Silva played today, so today's record is truly astonishing. Alongside it, the FA chairman David Bernstein, a lifelong Manchester City fan. Half the City team has changed since the final of 2 years ago, when the man of the match was a gentleman by the name of Mario Balotelli, one or two of you may recall. The season to forget the FA Cup of 2011 lost the club's first major trophy for 35 years. It was a vital breakthrough. They raised the bar for subsequent seasons, and City need to clear this high this evening. Referees from Birmingham, Andre Mariner, took charge of a League One game last weekend. And last year's Cup final had a did or didn't it cross the line controversy. Let us not forget. Lovely moment there. As David Bernstein welcomes Dave Whelan back to Wembley. Not everyone likes the idea of Wembley semi-finals, but all but one of Wigan's semi-final lineup was new to a major Wembley occasion last month. They've all had a taste of it now. Some of the mystery is gone. Team drawn from 8 different nations, but not a single player unfamiliar now with the pageant of a cup final. And a cup final that is seen the world over. Dave Whelan has certainly, having been prevented from leading the team out for the semi-final by protocol, made this a very special moment in his 18-year association with his hometown. Pretty much programme Abide With Me, the national anthem, are among the elements that single out the FA Cup final. And as with Abide With Me, the singing of God Save the Queen will be led by the 4 Royal College of Music graduates that make up a moray to the accompaniment of the Royal Philharmonic Concert Orchestra. Two sets of players from different ends of the Premier League table that did meet just last month in the league. They know each other well. And Wigan Athletic played very well in defeat at the Etihad. Not your average cup underdog, certainly not in the up-and-atom sense. These Manchester City players may find themselves without the ball for periods of this evening's game. Eyes on the prize, the 90th anniversary of the very first Wembley FA Cup final in the legendary White Horse armed the crowd in excess of 125,000. The goalkeepers were the key selection, Don Emerson. Both managers have changed their cup keeper from the semi-final here last month. It's Joe Hart's first FA Cup tie since the final 2 years ago. A logical, it's somewhat surprising choice given Gostel Pantermon's display in the cup. No James Milner, Sami Nasri keeps his place in that attack of all talents. Only three of that City team played in their last league game last Tuesday. They arrested 10 of the Wigan lineup were announced in that heartbreaking defeat to Swansea midweek. The exception is Antolin Alcaraz, back after missing 3 games through injury. 22-year-old Joel Robles is referred to Ali Al-Hafsi in goal, only the Spaniard's 12th game in English football. Joe Hart has played 14 times for England here. He might not have been expected to play for Manchester City. On the other end of the field, the 6 feet 5 inch Spaniard Joel, who's missed just 1 game in the last 2 months, but that game was the semi-final here against Millwall. He was on loan to Wigan from Atletico Madrid. Skipper is Wigan Athletic in the absence of Gary Caldwell, who is amongst the substitutes. On the left there is Emerson Boyce, who spent nearly 7 years with the club that Roberto Martinez now manages. He says he's had the easiest team talk he's ever had to give. How easy is today again for Roberto Mancini? Under contract with Manchester City for the next 4 years. He's lived with constant speculation. He's been raw this morning. And his big decision today to leave 6 feet 8 inch Costa Pantermon sitting, I think, rather uncomfortably in the seat immediately behind him. It's not supposed to rain on Cup final day, and the dark clouds with just a glimpse of sunshine. A match that not even the Old Trafford farewell party tomorrow will attract as many fans to as this had indication. It is still the final that everybody wants to play in. A match that's historic for Wigan Athletic, a final that marked Manchester City's re-emergence as a trophy-winning force 2 years ago. The FA Cup final still counts. One stray balloon being cleared from the pitch, which is in pristine condition.